In this video, we will look at 8 things you should be doing in your 401k to make sure that you can grow it to $1 million and beyond by the time you retire. So let's get started. 1. Start early. Now, it is said that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but failing that, the second best time to do it is right now. I was in my early 20s and I had just joined this company where I was an intern, and in my first paycheck that I got from them, I noticed that 2% of my money was missing. And I found out it had been saved up for something called a 401k. Immediately what I did was I made the 2% 0% and made sure that I don't contribute to that ever again, because it has something to do with retirement. And I'm 22. I don't want to have anything to do with retirement. I'm too young to retire, right? So I turned that to 0% and I just let it be and enjoyed the extra money that came into my bank account. Sooner or later, I realized that contributing to a 401k and getting started as early as you possibly can is literally the best thing that you can do to give your investments an early start and let the magic of compounding work over a very long period of time. So I guess my message here to you is it's never too early to get started, and it's never too late. 2. Minimize your taxes. Now, by contributing to a 401k, you get what is called a pre-tax deduction. What this means is that any amount of money that you put into your 401k is deducted from the total amount of money you have made in that year. Let's say you made $100,000 in the year 2022. Let's say that you put away 10% of your income as 401k contributions. That means you put away $10,000 into your 401k. Now, what this means is that the total amount of money that you will be taxed on is reduced by 10%, which means that you will only be taxed on $90,000 of your income. Let's say you are in an effective tax bracket of 20%, which means that you would have paid 20% of $100,000, which is $20,000 in terms of taxes to the government. However, now, by contributing 10% to a 401k, what you have done is reduced your taxable income to $90,000, which means that you will be taxed only 20% of the $90,000, which is $18,000. So just by putting away 10% into your 401k, what you have done is saved $2,000 a year for yourself. Now, in reality, what happens is that when your taxable income reduces, you are no more in the same tax bracket. So it's very likely that you will go from something like a 20% tax bracket to an 18% tax bracket. 18% of $90,000 is $16,200, which means compared to the case when you did not contribute 10% of your salary to your 401k at all, you have now saved $3,800 just by contributing to a 401k. And this is money that comes into your pocket. So by minimizing taxes this way, what you can do is reduce your effective tax rate from 20% to 16.2% by contributing to a 401k. If you're fortunate enough to make a lot of money or live well below your means and you can contribute more than the 10%, the government does set up an upper limit of how much you can contribute to a 401k every year. For 2023, this is $22,500 for anyone under the age of 50. If you are over the age of 50, you get an extra $7,500 in catch-up contributions. So anyone over the age of 50 can contribute a maximum of $30,000 to a 401k in 2023. 3. Get your matching contributions. Several employers match their 401k contributions of their employees up to a certain limit. For example, they might say that they will match $1 for every dollar that you contribute to a 401k up to 5%. So what that means is, if your income is $100,000 and you contribute 10% of your salary or $10,000, your company will match $1 for every dollar up to 5% or $5,000. So this means that you get an extra $5,000 of basically free money from your employer that goes directly into your 401k. And what's even more amazing is that the 401k match is not limited by the $22,500 limit set by the IRS for 2023. If you get an extra $5,000 from your company match, you are allowed to contribute $22,500 plus $5,000 or $27,500. And if you're over the age of 50, you get an additional $7,500, allowing you to contribute up to $35,000 in your 401k. Now, there is another option that allows you to contribute up to $66,000 in your 401k, but stick to the end to find out. So here's the question. Let's say your employer does not offer a company match. Should you still contribute to a 401k? The answer is absolutely. The 401k match is an excellent option and is basically free money you should take advantage of. However, if your company does not give you a 401k match, the tax benefits of contributing to a 401k still exist, and this is very much the reason you should still be contributing to a 401k. 4. Save at least 10% of your income. Fundamentally, the contribution rate to your 401k depends on how much you make and how much you spend. However, if you cannot contribute to the maximum amount in a 401k, then the first step is to find out how much your expenses actually are. So you will calculate the total expenses, including mortgage and rent, groceries, tuition, and any other discretionary expenses that you might have. Once you know your entire budget, you will have a very good idea of how much you can actually contribute to a 401k. And although the number might vary depending on who you ask, a general rule of thumb and a good guideline is to contribute at least 10% of your income to a 401k. 5. Enroll in a continuous increase program. Many employers offer a continuous increase program in their 401k, and what this means is that you can automatically increase your contributions to a 401k by 1 to 2% each year. Many times we don't actually get around to increasing our 401k contributions. For this purpose, companies offer a continuous increase program. So this is like a really autopilot way to make sure that you are saving more and more each year. 6. Invest in low-cost and diversified mutual funds in your 401k. The simple and efficient option for most people is to invest in what are called target date funds. These are mutual funds that are tailored to have an investment mix that is entirely dependent on the actual date of your retirement. These mutual funds are in general well diversified and hold a wide variety of stocks and bonds, so you don't put all your eggs in one basket. They also have a very low expense ratio, which means that it costs you very little to buy and hold this mutual fund till your retirement date. For example, if you decide to retire in the year 2060, the Vanguard Target Date Fund 2060 is an excellent choice from Vanguard. It has returned an average of 8% over the last 10 years and has an expense ratio of 0.08%. Simply buying and holding a target date fund until your retirement date is an excellent way to make sure that you have a well-diversified investment all the way up to the point of your retirement. If you don't have access to a target date fund, you can create your own 3-fund portfolio to mimic the target date fund in your 401k. So to do this, you will pick a right combination of index funds to mimic what the target date fund actually holds. Index funds are basically mutual funds that hold a wide variety of stocks or bonds to make sure you're well diversified over that asset class. To emulate a 2060 target date retirement fund, you can simply buy 54% of a total stock market index fund, 36% of a total international stock market index fund, and 10% of a total bond index fund. This distribution of percentages is called an asset allocation. A good rule of thumb, depending on your age, is to set your bond holdings to age minus 10, which means if you're 30 years old, you can hold 30 minus 10 or 20% in bonds and allocate the rest of the 80% to a mix of total stock and total international index funds. If you want to get more granular in your investment choices, you can choose to tilt your portfolio towards a slightly higher risk, higher reward situation. For example, you can tilt your stock holdings towards smaller companies which hold more potential for growth but are subject to much more fluctuations and volatility over time. The other way you can add some more diversification into your retirement portfolio is to invest in what are called real estate investment trusts or REITs. And these mutual funds allow you to indirectly invest in commercial real estate. Many people choose to add real estate into a portfolio because it is rather uncorrelated to the stock market and can provide a good balance and diversification in your portfolio. 7. Avoid withdrawing from a 401k. So now that you've invested your money and grown your money for many years, what if there arises a situation where you need to pull your money out? According to the IRS rules in 2023, you can pull out your money penalty-free only when you're 59 and a half years old. Pulling out your money any earlier than that will result in a 10% penalty for withdrawal. 8. Invest in the after-tax 401k. Okay, so if you've made it this far, here's the real money ball. With this, you can contribute up to $66,000 in your 401k. So if you do have a really, really good source of income and you want to contribute even more to a 401k, then you can make what are called after-tax 401k contributions. So in this case, you are allowed to make contributions with your after-tax money, which means money that you've already paid taxes on, and contribute above your $22,500 limit plus the company match, which let's say is $5,000, which is $27,500, and the rest of it up to $66,000 can be filled with your after-tax contributions. And some employers allow you to make in-plan Roth conversions, which means that any interest earned on these after-tax contributions are not subject to any tax upon withdrawal. If you have invested nearly $40,000 every year in your 401k that grows tax-free for a number of decades, you can really grow your 401k to a sizable value. However, it should be noted that not all employer 401k plans do have an after-tax 401k option. But if you do have one, and if your plan allows you, you should definitely take advantage of that to put away as much as you can in your 401k. This last section can be really complicated, but if you'd like to know more, post in the comment sections below and do let me know for a future video. So there you have it. Those are all the 8 things that you should be doing in your 401k to make sure that you have a secure retirement. If you found this video helpful, do click the like button and consider subscribing to the channel. And it really helps us to make more videos like this one. Until next time, happy investing and catch you on the next one.